Hello, everybody. This is Dr. J, Professor Spike and Kamal, streaming live from Long Island, New York, coast to coast and across the globe, coming to you live from Long Island, New York. And what a day on Wall Street. Flat. Everything was flat except the Dow was up a little and the S&P was up a little, but the NASDAQ and the Russell were flat. That's the way to describe it. Bitcoin was up a little. Um, Yeah, my portfolio is essentially flat today with CTIC zooming, as I said, likely will, and CRISPR continuing its downslide, which is
Yeah.
I've been shedding shares of CRISPR, but not quick enough apparently. So I explained my strategy of always selling a little bit at a time or buying a little bit at a time. This is an example when I probably should have sold a lot at a time.
But
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, and Tilray. We're going to chart Tilray too. I think I wrote that down. Tilray Voyager that made a nice move over the last few weeks, so we'll take a look at that. A lot of you remember I was in Voyager a few years ago when it was in the 20s, and I wrote it up from $8 to the 20s, and I wrote most of it back down, unfortunately. I made a few bucks, but not much. I'm thinking about getting back in, but it's at this point it would probably be chasing. I don't like to chase. So let's say a quick hello to people. Hey Mark, hey Tim, hey Indubitably. This is cute.
yeah,
Did I take profits? Any profits at all at five? I said I would consider taking profits after five on a small portion, probably about 16%, but I did not. So I still may take some profits, but I did not yet. I also have been saying as soon as it goes above five, the big boys will start coming in. And I do believe that to be true. So I want to see how it performs over the next few days, the beginning of next week. We're going to take a look at Tilray. The squeeze continues. Man joining us today. Good to see you, Man. Jackie, also from Long Island, New York. Good to see you, Jackie. We're gonna get to work here.
yeah.
Otherwise, we run out of time on this new format of 30 minutes. Arjun said he's joining us today because he's very excited about GSL. He's into that in a big way now. Well, we're going to chart that and talk about that a little bit too. All right, so the spiders had a very nice candle today on SPY. It was a turnaround day, and it closed just under it virtually bounced off the 100 today. The 100-day moving average 453.57, and it hit a high of 453. So yeah, it basically bounced, almost touched 100 and closed just below that. So very nice close on SPY. It was as low as 448 during the day. Nice swing, looking good for the beginning of the week, for Monday. And our friend Kamal, who's with us today, likes green candles on a Friday. So does this meet with your approval, Kamal?
Kind of.
Kind of. Not juicy enough, not big enough, this green candle?
Not long enough. No.
Didn't hit the 50.
I like the candle a lot because it has a long, tail at the bottom, long wick on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good sign. Okay, so we're not going to dwell on the spiders. We'll just take a look in general, I think, at the close. The close on SPY was up 0.5%.
There's a lot of momentum going into the end of the day, Kamal. That would be a little.
Yes, that's what that candle basically shows. The NASDAQ was flat. The Russell was flat. Crude oil was up a little bit, not much, half of 1%. Gold down a half of 1%. Silver down over 1%. Let's take Bitcoin. Bitcoin was up actually pretty good, up over 1%, 510 points to 44,420. Bitcoin is interesting. I think we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We always try to squeeze that one in. I didn't list it, but I like to look at Bitcoin, especially when it's making new highs every day. Healthy.
I thought it was down today.
Yeah.
No, look at the candle.
Oh.
It's up 505. Maybe it's down from the highs. Yeah, it's down from the highs, but the high was 45,600 points more. But it still had a good day. All in all, it's a good day for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the key levels on Bitcoin again. We want to take out this high meaning the one on March 1st, which was 45,077. It almost did today. So we're very much flirting with taking out a very key level. And we drew this in yesterday. When did we look at this? Yesterday? Yeah, we looked at this exact chart yesterday. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. The days roll into each other.
They meld.
Yeah, they meld. So Bitcoin with a little further pop, I think is showing extreme bullishness. And again, I think we're going to challenge this high back here, double top on 1226, 52,000 essentially. So I called this the other day. I'm going to repeat my call with a break of 45,661. I think 52,000 is within striking distance for Bitcoin. Very happy with my Bitcoin buy. I'm now making decent money on Bitcoin and its friend Ethereum. I'm not going to bother charting that because it looks much the same. Apple, the bellwether of the market, puts in another green candle and another new high today, and another, not new all-time high, but another higher, another day where it's high, it closed higher than the day before, and its high was higher than the high of the day before. We've had how many candles like that? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 days in a row that I mean, Apple enthusiasts salivating over this the last 2 weeks of trading.
It's impressive.
Very impressive. It's a market leader, and it was supposed to. Well, wasn't all the gurus saying the big tech is dead? All of that. Well, what are they saying now after this tremendous rally by Apple? If it takes out 176.65, it's pretty unlikely that it doesn't make new highs. Unlikely. So already, I would say it's unlikely that it does. Well, yeah, I would say unlikely. It's more likely to make new highs than not, which means the market is more likely to make new highs than not. Because if it's not going to make new highs here, then we're going to have a big correction next week, and I don't think that's the case. So I want to see this high taken out. It's basically a double top, 177.18, 177.25, and you can buy some more Apple because rest assured it's going to make new highs. 183 is very likely to fall, maybe even next week, especially if we get some kind of headline about Ukraine peace talks or something like that. We're waiting for that headline. That should propel the market to new highs. Okay, very bullish. Apple, very bullish. The market still a little question here or there, but in my mind, but basically very, very strongly bullish. I've been that way for weeks or months or years for that matter. And only one time in the last 3 to 5 years that I waver. I got a little frightened of the market, and I don't remember when it was, but I was wrong to at that point in time. Never fear. This is a tremendous bull market. My call is that it continues at least for the near term, as far out as I can see anyway. This was an bearish engulfing today on apps. Don't like this candle. It's trying to rally. Remember when we looked at it? I think it was here on the 17th of March, about a week ago, a little more than a week ago. I said 45 is the likely first target, and then I said 50 would be the next target, right? Well, we hit the 45 and we bounced down. And now, after a nice comeback candle yesterday, we had some selling today, and I'm not in love with this candle. I never like bearish engulfings, especially after a run up. It wasn't true. It's not a major run up and it's not a major top, but I still don't love this candle. So at best, I see more of this back and forth between 40 and 45. And if it breaks down below 40, I would be a seller of APPS. Of course, a break to the north of 45, I would be a buyer, but I have my doubts that that's happening. There was weakness today, so I'm a little afraid of APPS. RADA was one of them that I listed today because it made a tremendous move.
Yeah, look at that.
Tremendous move. It's up to a high of 1657. I don't know what the news was, maybe a contract. I don't know, maybe they're selling guns to the Ukrainians. I don't know what's going on. But something good happened with Rada. And we have to credit Heath because he's been very bullish Rada for a long time. And on our show, he was yelling Rada and as loud as he could. So, we said it looked bullish. I personally did not take a position in it, but I hope some people did. I hope Heath convinced a few people. It broke out of this trading range with this candle today. So, you don't want to chase it, but you don't want to short it. That would be a mistake. This should be support for this old resistance at 1471 should be support. And let's see if it holds. I think if you want to take a chance with this, 1565 would be the place to enter. Right midway down that green candle. You got to figure it might even go up a little more and then pull back. That's how it looks to me. Very nice call, Heath. Heath, you're to be congratulated on this one. All right. I also had Voyager listed. Right. Voyager, again, we know this one from years ago, and look at this tremendous run. Back in early March, I think they announced a partnership with either Pfizer or Novartis. I know they have partnerships with both. And this thing took off. They had a late stage drug for Parkinson's that failed. I think it was failed due to safety issues. Now they've kind of reinvented themselves, and the old management is out. Now the management is being led by investors from a couple of different hedge funds. So the hedgies are basically controlling this one now. And I guess they bought heavily into it because look at this run up. It's preclinical. It doesn't even have a trial. It has nothing. It's just conceptual, laboratory stuff, in vivo, whatever you want to call it. So how do you chase this one as an investor? I just can't.
Yeah, no, you just have to be clairvoyant and get it in early.
Yeah, you just can't chase it at this point. So it is one to watch, however, because of this phenomenal run. It says that perhaps this preclinical stuff that they have is eventually going to pan out. But eventually, you're looking preclinical a couple of years from now before they get a trial going. So, and then you're looking 4 or 5 years later before they might get a drug into approval. So you're looking at probably 7, 8 years conceivably before an approval. And that's too much for most investors, especially in biotech. So yeah, I don't know. I would say watch it because it's live, and maybe if you get a pullback all the way back to the 684 level, if you want to own some as an investor, it's probably okay if you have a long time horizon. So that's how I would look at this one. I view this one, you need a very long time horizon for this one. But it is interesting to see that run up and how they reinvented themselves. They were as low as $3. And if my memory serves me right, it was well in the 20s weekly. I don't know if I could even see it. Yeah. No, yeah, there you go. You see, over 25. That was back in June of 2019. So look at how it looks on the weekly here. Basically, you have three green soldiers on the weekly. Tremendous pattern. You don't see this pattern too often on the weekly. So it's had a tremendous run, and it may still continue. All right, let's take a look at the weekly. Where would it likely stop? Basically, where I drew this line, 1277, would be a major resistance.
Yeah.
But when you look at the weekly, it looks tempting, even with this big run up, that it may have room to run further, all the way up to what's this, 1265.
All the change, yeah.
Yeah, 1265. So that's an interesting one. What else did I list? I listed Tilray, right?
You listed Tilray.
Tilray and SNDL are the two that most heavily played by our followers. And
You're on the weekly here, just so you know.
I'm on the weekly. What a week it's had, right?
Right.
Let's switch to the daily. Okay, so we gapped up at the open and we kept on going. Very, very, very nice candle for Tilray. It tried to go down. It went as low as 7.25 and got heavily bought. This is so extremely bullish. You got to figure there's more to come next week as the squeeze continues. Yeah, I would say this should easily happen. This number here, 993. That should be easy. The question is, does it get all the way up here to $14? And it may. So you may see a continuation of this run next week. This is extremely bullish candle. And the first stop would be 993, which is the local. And if you take the express, you're looking at all the way up here at
13.
Yeah, 13.95, $14. So Tilray, very bullish. Let's take a look at SNDL. On Tilray yesterday, I called for 9.99. Remember? And on this one, I called for
This
no.
is not a Sendio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sundial Growers. I
There you
called for 99 cents.
Wow,
Did it
look at that.
went? No, it didn't get that high. It went only as high as 87 cents and closed at 81 cents. It does not look quite as good as Tilray, but notice it was much lower also. It was 71 cents lower today. So it has a very big lower wick, which is bullish. The color is not bullish of the candle, however, because it opened at the high and gave back a lot to 71 cents and then put in a tremendous rally to get to 81 cents. So the day traders were in this one today. The volume must have been huge. Yes, huge volume. Biggest volume since 11, 12, 21. So yeah, I mean, basically they were playing with this one today as they were playing with Tilray. The Tilray looks a little stronger, and if I had to buy one of them, I would buy Tilray. I own that one, and I'm looking to maybe take a little off the top at, let's go back to it one more time, Tilray. I might take a little off the top. I don't own that much of it, but I own enough that I could take a little off the top at like that 993 level, something
Sure.
like that. Yeah. I did call for 999, but I might be satisfied to take a little at 990, which is, why be greedy for 9 pennies? So I think my average is about 6 on it, so 990 is pretty good.
Sure.
All right. What else? All right.
You said CTIC
What a day! What a day!
and GSL and Google.
Google, yeah. What a day for CTIC. Another huge green candle. Wow.
Wow,
So
that's right.
the big boys, as soon as it broke $5, there was probably institutional money that was waiting to come in. Look how they bought it up. Let's see how the volume was today. No, the volume was not there today, though. The volume is negligible today, which makes me a little less enthusiastic. I would like to see some more volume, but still, the chart is pretty amazing chart. How do you play this one? How do I play it? I don't know. I might take a little off the table if it dips back down to the high, yesterday's high. I might take a little off the table if it goes down to 481, that area. Not a stop loss, but just take some off the table to protect myself. Or maybe this side. Yeah, that looks better. That looks like a better spot. So let me draw that. That could be taken as a buy signal too. So both ways. If it fails to hold here, maybe I take a little off the table. But if you're not in this one and want to be in this one, this is not a bad place.
Right.
So 487 would be a pullback to 487 would be the area maybe to buy if you want to do that. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I have to go. I'll speak to you.
Okay. See you, Professor Spike. And we're going to wind it up in 4 more minutes anyway. So we have time for one more. Anybody have a?
ANVS.
Okay. Which one?
ANVS.
And let me just see if Arjun is hanging out. No, he's not.
NVS.
ANS, ANDS.
VS. V as in Victor.
Oh, Anovis.
Yep, Novus. Volume is anemic.
Yeah, this is not a good candle, but like you say, an anemic volume. It's still trying to find some traction. It's trying to rally off the lows, but it's not doing a hell of a good job.
Yeah, the volume is like a few thousand shares. It's like,
yeah, I mean, over the last 2 weeks, it's got a slight uptrend going from a low of 12 to a high, actually today, of 1466. So even though we closed much lower, it did have a decent. I mean, I don't like the red candle, but I think it made a new high from yesterday. Yesterday's high was 1470. So it didn't take out yesterday's high, but it's trading within its usual trading range at this point. So not wildly enthusiastic about the chart, but I'm not disinfatuated. The word I made up the other day. I'm not disinfatuated. I'm holding my shares of Anovis and maybe even adding to it because I like it in the long run. I think they will start phase 3 trials sometime soon, and that should give it a pop. So I'm long Anovis and I'm not selling. I don't care really about these little nothing moves over the last week or so.
I see.
I'm happy it moved up from $12. So all in all, I'm okay with Anovis. And that does it for the today, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Jiggly was here. Good to see you, Jiggly. Eyes on the Money, which is Jackie. Joda was here. I'm taking attendance, Mark, of course. Okay, so Kamal, I'll see you on Monday.
Have a nice weekend, guys.
Great weekend, everybody. As always, do your own due diligence. Our opinions are strictly owned, do not constitute investment advice, and please subscribe and tell your friends about us, right? Tell your friends. Because,
take care, guys.
We're forced to be reckoned with around here, aren't we?
Yes.
All right. Adios, amigos.